in preparation for the future patch of the campaign 9 part 2 coming out, I thought I'd best make sure that I've got it all completed so far, and I haven't. So here's my run through 9.16. Hello and welcome, I'm Mystical, this is Mystical Gaming, we are back into Watch of Realms, and there is a new patch coming out that will contain the second part of Campaign Stage 9 with another experience dungeon on there, and essentially I went as far as doing the previous up to experience dungeon, and that's where I stopped. There wasn't a need, I didn't feel to carry on any further, so I didn't. That's essentially it. So now with the patch coming out in sometime in the future, I thought I'd best go back, make sure it's done. So I've done up to 9.16 today, and we'll run through that, and then I will do 9.17 possibly tomorrow, but there may be some stuff on the Forerunner server that I want to get out and have a look at, so maybe a couple of days later. That's essentially the plan. Now for 9.16, you need, I'm taking 2 tanks, Olag, and I'm taking the fusion tank, Crodor. On top of that, I'm then taking a tanky fighter, and that's Abomination. I'm taking Valk as well, but any ranged fighter would do. Valk probably isn't the best for this. Healer-wise, I'm taking Vortex, and I'm taking Midan because I've recently leveled her up, and I think she's absolutely fantastic. And then I am taking some magical DPS. For me, that's Nox, because Nox is brilliant as a single target mage DPS, but also thought I'd take out for a spin the new fusion as well, Abuso. And then to finish it off, I need a couple of archers, so I'm taking, as always, if you're stuck with archers, take Luria, who is your archer lord, and then you take your Idril because everyone's got one built. So there's sort of 2 ways to do this. You can sort of just set up down the bottom and then damage the boss as they come down. But I don't think this account is stacked enough to do that. So what I'm doing is just tanking the boss up in that corner, and we're going to forget about the boss. So we put down Olag up there, we give Olag some healing, and then we forget about Olag until we've got rid of the other 21 of the 22 mobs that are coming down. Next down is Abomination, down on that bottom lane, and he's just going to DPS everything that comes down that way. They take physical damage, it's a nice split, so everything down the bottom lane takes physical damage, everything coming across from that upper side of it, that takes magical damage. So my Abomination isn't quite powerful enough to take care of these mobs themselves, so I'll put down some healing, and then later on, just behind Abomination, we're going to chuck down our fighter to fight over the top of him, and that'd be enough DPS to take care of that bottom lane, and we'll be able to forget about that. Now we've got our slow moving heavily armed units coming down that are going to take magical damage. So we place our Nox down facing towards the magical damage, and then we're going to have to place a tank down. Now essentially I'm just waiting for Nox's ultimate to come online and then really nuke down that heavy armoured unit, and they should be able to take care of it. I'm going to put the Abuso down there as well, just to help out with an extra bit of DPS, because they do hit like an absolute freight train. Now you might want to save Codor's ultimate until they're about to hit, because he can increase his defense by 70%, so that could be a nice little trick for you, and you might be able to sustain yourself a bit longer there. Also, you might have a better healer, more single target damage is coming in there, so you might want to think of a single target healer, whereas Midan sort of does multiple targets. So just there, we've now got our next magic damage coming down. We've got both of them doing it, and I don't know if Nox is going to get ultimate up in time to actually take care of it. So you I really sort of have one round where I have Nox's ultimate up, and one round where I have to sort of heal more intensively, and that's sort of essentially how I have to run that bottom part with them coming down. We're sort of halfway through the run now, and once we're at this stage, it pretty is self-sustainable. So this is it, we're down to 18 out of the 22 done. We've got the last couple of mobs coming on the bottom, and once we've killed those off, we can then start despawning our heroes, getting the coinage back for them, although we don't really need any coinage, it's not that sort of fight where we're worried about it. And now we're just left with our mage and magical sort of DPS, we're left with our healer, and we're left with our tank just in case anything goes wrong. It shouldn't do, and this should be a nice easy straight kill. Nox is up with his ultimate, and there is pretty much the boss dead. We can despawn everything else. Now all we're left with is Olag and Vortex at the top, just waiting on the boss. And essentially all I really do for this part is I put in my heroes, I hit the boss does some abilities and blows a lot of people up, I then replace them. The boss isn't difficult to tank or heal through, so it's just a matter of placing DPS up there and slowly whittling the boss down. It really isn't that technical. I think it gets a bit harder if you haven't got the power to control the boss properly as he makes his way all the way down the bottom, where he's doing his exploding things on certain heroes and that sort of thing. And the fight then can get a bit messy. But this way for me, put heroes down as far away from the boss as possible and then just slowly DPS the boss down. It's not the easiest way to do it, but it's relatively clean without too many issues whatsoever. Now the boss does try and make moves past Olag, but really it doesn't really get anywhere. He sort of just moves half a tile at a time, but Olag's already tanking and causing aggro, so the boss always gets pulled back anyway. It's not really a great issue. The boss does seem to have a lot of HP, or the other option is my heroes and my account aren't good enough to smash the boss down. If your account is better than that, you might be able to just wail on the boss and have him down in seconds few. You might not have to worry about keeping him up in the corner out the way there. But there was a big explosion, killed off a few of our heroes, but it's not an issue because the tanking part of it and the healing through the tank part is really easy. So there's the boss doing a little frozen move. It's nothing to really worry about. Now whether the boss is moving around, whether that would cause more of an issue for you, that's a bit more of a tricky situation to answer. But essentially keep it up there, tank and spank, job done, no issues whatsoever. That's it. The last part of the boss, he's pretty much dead, and then we go into the little animation clip where he levels himself up, ready for stage 9-17, and hopefully we're smashed through that tomorrow without too many issues. But there he goes, leveling himself up, boom, and he's all ready. We get victory, we get our 3 stars, and we get the rewards that we want. So that is pretty much it for 9-16, and then like I say, hopefully tomorrow or couple of days time we'll do through 9-17 and we'll be all ready for when the new content drops. The level of the content, I don't know. I'm still waiting for it to appear on the Forerunner server. As soon as it does, we'll have a little look and we'll see what to expect on the Forerunner server, so we know what to prep for when it comes onto our global server. Okay, thank you very much for your time today. I hope you found this helpful. If you have, please leave us a thumbs up, like and subscribe. That would help me out massively. And I'll see you all in a video again soon. Till then, happy gaming. Goodbye.